Thank you for joining us here today for the latest news where you live. I'm Joe Ellison. Now, the lack of rain and these ongoing dry conditions have brought on burn bans across the state of Arkansas. And officials are asking you not to burn anything outside because of that. In fact, the entire state of Arkansas is under a high wildfire danger. And the majority of Arkansas is under a burn ban right now. In Oklahoma, Sequoia, LaFleur, and Adair counties also under those burn bans. 5 News reporter Michael Wilson has more.
From LaFleur County to Johnson County, and from Scott and Benton counties,
everything is dry.
All of 5 News Country is under a burn ban.
61 counties out of the 75 counties in Arkansas are now under burn ban.
A ban that does not allow
bonfires, burning leaves, burning any vegetation in your yard.
Even if you currently have a burn permit, the burn ban overrides it.
If you're on private property or someone else's property, all burning ceases.
Officials also ask you to be cautious of the small things.
Somebody can just flip a cigarette and there goes the neighborhood.
And if caught breaking any of the burn ban rules, the first time, it's a warning. But the next time, you could be arrested or
they can be fined to up to $500 per incident.
Local, county, and state officials blame the need for the ban on 3 things.
Now, what drives it is low humidity.
We haven't gotten a lot of precipitation.
Conditions are very dry right now. Just one stray spark coming off could light up your yard. It could spread very quickly.
That's why officials ask you to still use caution when firing up permitted things like the grill.
And for goodness sakes, please don't flick cigarette butt out anyway.
In Arkansas, burn bans will remain in place until the county judge lifts it. And in Oklahoma, the county commissioner calls it off.
The burn ban is until further notice. We don't have any rain in the forecast, unfortunately, for a significant amount of time.
All right, these burn bans could stick around for a bit. Let's check in with meteorologist Zach Scott to see if there's any relief inside. Hey, Zach.
Hey, Joe. Yeah, we're trying a chance for some sprinkles. That's not going to help us today. We had the burn bans in the summertime because we had the drought really kick off then. August was good. We lost all the burn bans, brought the wildfire threat from high all the way to low. And then September, very dry. October starting out very dry. Maybe we're holding on to the chance that the pattern can shift next week. We could get a couple rounds of some scattered showers and maybe even some thunderstorms. The storms could be on the strong side. Again, that's next week, but at least we could hope for some heavy downpours. We'll be watching that for the next several days. Today, we're watching a front move in. We'll get some scattered mid to higher level clouds to filter into northwest Arkansas, parts of the River Valley. We're still looking for a hot day in the 80s and maybe enough lift, just enough moisture converging out ahead of the front. Maybe squeeze out a sprinkle or two. That's about it. So a little bit of a difference in the forecast today than what it's been the last several days of just sunshine and blue skies. Overall, low to mid 80s for northwest Arkansas, mid to upper 80s, topping out near 88 degrees in the River Valley. Quiet night overall. We're dropping back down mostly in the 50s. There'll be a few 40s mixed in going into Thursday morning. And hey, I want to tell you this, International Space Station, you can see it today. Again, it's always crisscrossing around the globe, right? But it doesn't always pass over your head every single day. It's sometimes you got to wait a little while. Well, it's passing over today, and it was just about a year and a half ago. It was the first time I had a neighbor grab me and say, hey, have you ever actually watched this thing pass over? I hadn't, did it. It's actually pretty neat. And we could still have some of those scattered higher level clouds around this evening. 7:44 to 7:50 is when it's supposed to pass directly overhead. So give you something to maybe pop out there, see if you can't see it. Tell you this, the weather this evening, it's been beautiful every evening. It's going to be beautiful again tonight, dropping through the 70s. Joe.
All right, thanks so much, Zach. That's good news for motorcycles that are starting to roll into 5 Country for this year's Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue Rally, which starts today. Now, Rogers is hosting the event for the first time this year. Rail Yard Park in downtown Rogers will be the center of this year's rally. Like we mentioned, this will be the first year the rally has moved from Fayetteville, where it's been held since 2000. Now it's in Rogers. Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue has been ongoing in northwest Arkansas since that time. Now it's considered the world's largest charity motorcycle rally, giving out more than $3 million in grants to local nonprofits over the last 20 years.
A lot of the funds that we receive from Bikes Blues goes directly back to those free services that we provide for local child abuse victims. I mean, without support of local organizations like the rally, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. I mean, we saw 632 kids just last year, and all of those kids receive free services because of important organizations like the rally.
Now, the first concert and beer garden will be open at Rail Yard Park Thursday night. Bike demos and vendors will be in Uptown at the Rogers Convention Center starting tomorrow. Well, Fort Smith City directors decide not to appeal a recent court decision involving the city's consent decree with the Environmental Protection Agency. Last night, directors voted against the resolution that would have started the process of appealing a decision by a federal court. That decision ruled that the city had 10 years to finish millions of dollars in water and sewer improvements. The decree was issued after the city violated the Federal Clean Water Act. The city lost in an effort to get more time to complete the projects.
I'm fighting for the single mom that has a sewer bill that has to pay. I'm fighting for that family of 4 that's moving here. I'm fighting for that retired couple that wants to live in our cities. We need to keep fighting because you never know what happens.
We've had good attorneys. We've made good arguments based on what we had to work with, really good arguments. I just think that there's no need to waste more time and money on legal arguments.
Well, directors did approve an ordinance helping with expansion plans at the Owens Corning plant. $128 million in industrial development bonds will be issued to help expand the manufacturing and warehouse facilities there. The project will allow the company to keep its current workforce plus add 5 more jobs. And the Department of Education expects to begin accepting applications for student loan forgiveness in the next few weeks. Brandon Lewis with our National Verify team answers your questions about how the program will work and apply to your student loans.
Ever since the White House announced its student loan forgiveness program, we've heard from a lot of you wondering how this is all going to work. People under a certain income are eligible for up to $10,000 in forgiveness and $20,000 if they receive a Pell Grant. But several Verify viewers asked, what does this mean for people who have multiple loans? So we're going to explain how the Department of Education is going to forgive that debt using these sources. First, you don't get to pick which loan the government forgives first. Instead, there is a very specific order. The Department of Education says it will first apply the relief to loans that are in default. Then it will forgive loans from its direct loan program, followed by commercially held federal family education program loans, and finally, Perkins loans that are held by the DOE. Second, if you have several loans that are the same type, like multiple direct or Perkins loans, then the Department of Education says it will first forgive the loan with the highest interest rate and go from there until you received the total amount of forgiveness you're entitled to, or you have no more eligible loans. You can find out what type of loan you have and its interest rate by going to your federal student aid online account. The Department of Education recommends people apply for forgiveness by mid-November so they can receive their relief before the pandemic payment pause ends on December 31st. However, it will continue to accept applications through the end of 2023. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Well, thank you for joining us here today. For more of the latest news and weather, catch up with us again tomorrow right here for more. For 5 News, I'm Joe Ellison.